It's the 26th of March 2020 and it is currently, what time is it? 6:25 p.m. Do I realise that might be recording backwards? This is the first day of the lockdown in New Zealand. I'm still in Brooklyn, Wellington. Lockdown started at midnight last night. Today I went to the Willow Street Unichem after having some complications with my normal medications. I also went to the supermarket. Pretty much everything that I needed to get was there. I only had about $30 or $31 to put towards food. I don't get paid till Tuesday. Today is Thursday. But the only thing I couldn't find was flour, which was really frustrating because it's a necessity and that means that I can't bake anything while I'm in isolation. Now I'm immunocompromised. There wasn't a lot of people out. Many people were wearing masks at the supermarket and some at the pharmacy. I was very impressed with the pharmacy in the lockdown. The distancing measures that they had taken. They know me quite well there. I get prescription pickups quite frequently. Did have a little bit of drama talking to the doctor around increasing my codeine dosage not increasing the amount, increasing the frequency of dosage from 3 to 4. We're currently working to make sure I am not taking too much of it because I've been having increases of pain. Recently I've been diagnosed, before this stuff all happened, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and I started on methotrexate last week. So I'm taking some folic acid on the Wednesdays and methotrexate on Saturdays. I'm 26. I turn 27 end of June. My flatmate moved out on Tuesday, because she wasn't willing to be separated from her fiance for 4 weeks and I wasn't willing to have him here, so it was an even medium. I'm actually really enjoying the fact that I'm now by myself. She will be paying 4 weeks rent. I have all the utilities sorted out and I'm actually going to try and record this. I'm going to try and list some things that I find that I am grateful for. I have a stable government job that I'm in no immediate risk of losing as a critical service. Though my friends and family are in Christchurch, I'm in Wellington, but we're blessed to have the internet and I can keep in contact with them. I'm blessed that my salary is sufficient for me to be able to pay rent and not be anxious around it, and that I can work remotely as someone who is immunocompromised. I'm blessed that I don't have any immediate concerns around obtaining food or medication. I'm covered by a copay at my pharmacy and I don't eat a lot because of my gastroparesis, so I'm not in any great risk, even if there might be some inconvenience. I don't have pre-existing respiratory illnesses. I've experienced obviously like bronchitis and having croup as a child, but I don't currently have asthma. I don't currently have any kind of weakness in there personally. My father has the same condition I have, in terms of it's called classical Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So we both have a lot of joint conditions. He had an early onset of osteoarthritis. So he's got, it's mainly delicate skin, gastro symptoms, delayed wound healing, and amongst other things. But I've got more joint symptoms than he does, but I've got and a lot more joint laxity and dislocations. But fortunately for me, so I've been on numerous painkillers for many years, but I have been accruing autoimmune diseases. Like I'm trying to get badges, but it's really not like that at all. I started noticing rheumatoid symptoms around December, and severe inflammation to the point where a couple of weeks ago I was, well, actually probably over a month ago now, I was so bad I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't move my hands. I couldn't lift up. I couldn't turn over in bed. I couldn't lift up my duvet. And that was fairly frustrating, where I thought I'd finally gotten things under control, and it was just, yet again, I'm being betrayed by my body. But I've been really responsive to prednisone, which is a steroid. So my results from my blood tests, my rheumatoid factor is, to clarify, my dad has the degenerative osteoarthritis in terms of wear and tear. This is different. This is an inflammatory arthritis. I do have some pre-signs of the wear and tear in my knees. My knees have always been pretty stiff because I wore through them. I've got flat feet. I just stopped dancing because it was too painful. I can't bend very much because of my knees, which is, at least they don't dislocate much. It's mainly my shoulders and my hands and my hips and all of that. But, you take what you can. But when I got my blood tests back, it was pretty conclusively rheumatoid. Though my dad and my mum, no one in my family I know of apart from my grandfather, ironically, who just got diagnosed with something else similar, has inflammatory arthritis, or like a rheumatoid kind of thing. But my rheumatoid factor was 25, and something called anti-CCP. Yeah, anti-CCP. It's some sort of antibody that is apparently a very specific marker for rheumatoid arthritis. Now, you're supposed to be under 5 to be healthy, and I googled. This was before I found out what it was. I asked them what they were testing for, or what they were testing, so I could just sort of see what to expect. The highest I could find online was somewhere in the realm of like 270, 260, 250, kind of around there. Mine was 570. Was it 590? It was horrifically high, to the point where the rheumatologist, who is actually an associate professor for Otago, I believe, very good, well-respected rheumatologist in New Zealand, he looked at my results, looked at me, and said, I don't think I've seen results this high before. So that was instilling me with lots of confidence. Sorry, forgive me if I'm looking over here. I'm distracted by myself. It's my own face. But yeah, that was interesting. So, this is the COVID-19 stuff. It just started around the time we were doing that. So I was trying to distance myself from people. I think I was about to start working remotely from home when I got the job. I think it was the week before I started working from home, which was last week. So 2 weeks ago. And I said to him, look, he said, I want to start you on something called methotrexate, which is a very well-known treatment course for rheumatoid in low doses. In very, very high doses, it's used as a chemotherapy treatment, but in lower doses, it's a well-tolerated it's a first-line treatment for aggressive inflammatory arthritis. And I was sort of like, okay, that's good. And he seemed to be confident in terms of I've been responsive to prednisone and responsive to steroids, and he said that's a fairly good sign. So heartened for that. But it's like a once a week tablet you take. It's a little bit different, and there's the problem that it also binds to the receptors or processing. It's been so long since I did biology. It can inhibit your absorption of folic acid from food. Now, I've been taking a multivitamin anyway because I was actually deficient in B12 and folic acid and low on a couple of different things, just because I've not been able to eat very much for over a year now. That's why I lost 30 kilos last year. Been down from, I think I was 102 kilograms at my most heavy, and I think I'm about 68, fluctuating more or less around there now, which is wow. Yeah, I feel really like I cheated, but I'm not complaining. Because I've also had stomach conditions that have been not fun. But with that, I sort of said to myself, okay, so I know that steroids are an immunosuppressant, and I know that this methotrexate is going to be a selective immunosuppressant, if not a total one. Similar to when I was on carbimazole for treating my hypothyroidism, my Graves' disease, when I was about 17 or 18. Well, I was getting that under control, which I had radioactive iodine, and it seemed to work, which I'm inordinately blessed for. And he said, I said, considering this COVID-19, it'll put me at more risk. I know that. On balance, do you think I should start it, knowing that this will get bad as a healthcare worker? And he sort of looked at me and he said, even considering that, the risk posed by the damage that unmanaged inflammatory conditions like this will cause, it's still better that you start it, because you will be more at risk with unmanaged RA, and you will potentially start to do like damaging the synovial fluid and the cartilage and all of that potentially quickly. So he said, he was confident. He said it's on balance better. Now, I got my flu vaccination last week, which takes 2 weeks to build up a tolerance, but I'm one of the priority people because of all my crap. Yeah, so that's where I'm at, and that's why I'm immunocompromised. I don't know why I'm doing so well. I'm counting my blessings that I am. I'm so relieved to finally have a place to myself. I'm so relieved that I currently have a job that I don't foresee myself losing anytime soon. All things being equal, anything's possible, but as long as I'm able to do my work, people will be understanding. I've got amazingly supportive managers. I enjoy my work. I have, a method of transport. I have a family that I can still contact, even if they're not in the same city as me. I know that I'm going to be able to afford anything that comes through, more or less. I'm very calm. It's not like the earthquakes where you feel on edge because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's about to happen. I mean, I am concerned for my family, for the people I know, and the potential for people I know to be injured or killed by this virus. I am not, however, overly anxious or worried, because I can only control what I can do, and I know I'm more confident about something that I can control what I do with. I'm more concerned about this tanking the economy and the long-term effects, the mental health effects it will have on people that I know, people like myself, the economy, the world. I fear xenophobia. I fear the rise of nationalism or racism, and that will lead, what that may lead to. I fear that it will be detrimental to many things in our life, and we will never be the same after this. I hear the government alerts coming through on the phone, or I'm listening to the updates on the radio, and it doesn't seem real, but I'm okay. I don't know why I'm okay, but it's a blessing. It's an amazing blessing. I mean, to be perfectly honest, the way I dealt with the earthquakes was I just sort of ignored it. And then once I moved to Wellington, kind of around 2016, and then it re-emerged kind of last year, I did have some sort of some PTSD around it. Probably like almost everyone in Christchurch probably. It was a bit delayed. I'm very good at compartmentalizing. I don't think I'm doing that now. I have the chance to organize my own home. I have the chance to clean it how I want, organize it how I want, catch up on my work. I'm motivated to do it. I have painkillers and medication to help me feel as good as I can. I feel really blessed, to be honest, and I'm praying for people who aren't right now, because I know it's going to be really hard for people, and it breaks my heart that I can't help everyone. I have to take care of myself, and I've been in a space where it's like I've barely been okay. I am okay right now though, and that's amazing.